You drop into warm dust under a wide gray sky, and the first thing you feel is your mother's trunk sliding across your back. You are wet, you are heavy, you cannot stand. Your legs shake beneath you, 4 unfamiliar posts that refuse to hold your weight. You push, you fall, you push again. Around you, a wall of gray bodies closes in, aunts and cousins and half-sisters, their trunks reaching down to touch your head, your ears, your spine. This is the herd. This is everything you will ever belong to. By your 3rd attempt, you are standing. Your mother's leg fills your entire field of vision. You press against it and find warmth, and beneath the warmth, the low rumble of her voice moving through her body and into yours before you understand what sound is. You are 1 day old, and already you know her smell better than your own. The herd moves at dawn. You stumble to keep pace, your trunk swinging loose and useless in front of your face, an appendage you have not yet learned to command. You reach for grass and miss it. You reach for water and miss it. You reach for your mother's tail and hold on. You are 3 weeks old now, and your trunk begins to obey you. You wrap it around a twig and lift it, clumsy but certain, and something in your chest settles at the small victory. The matriarch leads. She is your mother's mother, and she carries the map of this land inside her skull. Every waterhole across 2 dry seasons, every safe crossing, every place where danger has come before and might come again. When she turns, the herd turns. When she stops, the herd stops. You watch her the way you watch nothing else. The dry season arrives before you are ready for it. The grass turns to straw. The mud at the waterhole cracks into plates. Your mother's ribs begin to show beneath her skin, and still she gives you milk, and still she walks, and still she does not tell you how far the next water lies. You are 6 months old, and you learn what thirst feels like in a body this large. The matriarch stops at a dry riverbed and begins to dig. Her front foot breaks the crust, then her trunk, scooping and flinging sand until a dark stain appears, then a pool. The herd drinks in order, oldest to youngest, and by the time it is your turn, the water is thick with mud, and you drink it anyway, and it is the best thing you have ever tasted. Seasons turn. You grow into your ears before you grow into your legs, and for a while you are mostly ears, flapping them against the heat, learning that the thin skin there can cool the blood beneath it if the wind is right. You are 2 years old when the lions come. It happens at the edge of the herd, at dusk, when the light turns everything the color of dried blood. A cousin, younger than you, wanders 3 body lengths from the nearest adult. The grass moves wrong. Your mother's trunk goes up, testing the air, and her scream splits the evening in half. The herd closes like a fist. Trunks rise. Ears flare wide, doubling every animal's size in an instant. The lions test the wall once, twice, and find no gap, and they melt back into the grass the way they came. Your cousin is pulled into the center of the herd and does not leave it again for 3 days. You learn, without anyone teaching you, that you are safest at the center, and that a day will come when you are expected to stand at the edge instead. You are 10 years old the first time you challenge another calf over a fallen fruit, pushing your small tusks against his, testing weight against weight, and losing and trying again the following season, and winning. Adolescence arrives as restlessness. You wander farther from your mother than you used to. You test your strength against low branches, snapping them for the pleasure of the sound. The older females tolerate you less than they once did, and you begin to understand, in the way a body understands before a mind does, that you will not stay. You are 14 when you leave. There is no ceremony. One dry season the bachelor herd passes near yours, a loose gathering of males with nowhere fixed to be, and something in you turns toward them instead of toward your mother. She does not follow. She watches you go, her trunk raised once in your direction, and then she turns back to the herd that is no longer entirely yours. The bachelor years teach you distance. You learn to read the land without a matriarch's memory to lean on, learn which rivers hold water in a bad year, learn the sound a baobab makes when its bark is worth stripping. You learn to fight without meaning to kill, testing your growing tusks against males twice your size, absorbing the losses, filing away the wins. You are 25 when you come into musth for the first time, and your body changes beneath you before you understand why. Fluid streaks from glands beside your eyes. Your temperament sharpens into something you do not fully control. Other males who ignored you for years now step aside when you approach. It is in this state, moving alone across open ground, that you find her, a female at the edge of a herd that is not your birth herd, standing apart from the others, watching you the way the matriarch once watched danger. You approach slowly. She does not run. 3 years later, you catch her scent again in a different season, and this time there is a calf beside her, small and unsteady, its trunk swinging loose in front of its face. You do not stay. Males do not raise young. But you stand at a distance for a long moment before you turn away, and something in your chest settles, the way it did the first time you lifted a twig. The decades pass in the rhythm of wet season and dry, musth and calm, water found and water lost. Your tusks grow long and yellow with age, curved instruments that have moved trees and fought rivals, and once pried open a blocked well for a herd of strangers who needed it more than you did. You are 51 years old when your last set of molars begins to wear through. An elephant is born with 6 sets of teeth across a lifetime, and yours are spent now, the enamel ground down by 60 years of bark and grass and thorn. Chewing becomes labor. Weight falls from your frame the way it fell from your mother's during that first dry season you remember, except now there is no calf fat beneath your skin to spare, only the long muscle of a life mostly lived. You move toward water because water is easier than grass. You find a soft floodplain near a river, thick with young reeds, food that asks less of a failing mouth. Other elephants pass this way in their final seasons. It is not chosen. It is simply where the last easy food is found, and the body goes toward what it can still manage. Your legs, which once carried you across a continent's dry seasons, begin to answer more slowly. You rest longer between distances that used to cost you nothing. One evening, at the edge of the reeds, with the sky turning the same dried blood color it wore the night the lions came 70 years earlier, your legs do not answer at all. You settle into the mud, and this time you do not push back up. Your breathing slows across the night. The reeds move in a wind you can still feel, but no longer need to watch. Somewhere across the floodplain, a rumble passes through the ground, low and searching, the way your mother's voice once passed through her body and into yours before you understood what sound was. You do not answer it. You do not need to. At dawn, a young female steps out from a stand of acacia at the edge of the reeds, small ears still finding their full spread, trunk swinging loose and uncertain in front of her face. She is not yours. She belongs to a herd passing through, led by a matriarch who has not yet chosen this exact path before. The calf pauses at the reeds, reaches for a stem of new grass, and misses it on the first try. She reaches again, and this time her trunk closes around it, and something in her small chest settles at the victory, though she does not yet have the words, or the years, to know why. You drop into warm dust under a wide gray sky, and the last thing the world feels is a small trunk closing around a single blade of grass.